Okay. Purple, what does that mean? Left foot yellow. Okay.
Oh, God.
Oh, wait a minute. It's Flexi Friend session. It's no Flexi Friend session without a bendy Ben.
What?
Get in here.
What are you guys, I am not playing Twister.
Ben? Oh, come on. Hi, I'm fitness expert Jeremiah Kruger.
And I'm Dr. Ben Quist.
And today we're talking about why you need to prioritize your mobility.
Including you, Tyrannosaurus Pex. Just wink.
No. From a broad perspective, mobility is your quality of movement.
Better mobility means better movement.
And better movement means more effective exercise, a higher level of performance, less pain and less injury, which altogether basically means a higher quality of life.
Here's what good mobility looks like.
Mobility training should be a training modality of its own. It's most often used to correct movement to benefit the other exercises you do in the gym, and that is great. But I do want to say that mobility is often a thankless endeavor, and that you don't realize how beneficial it is for you, but it might be the one thing you need to do to stop yourself from getting injured.
Mobility also can be used as a means of active recovery, helping you to increase your gains and decrease your pains. All right, left hand blue. Oh. What are you doing? Get out of here.
So next we're going to talk about the three main things that contribute to mobility: your active range of motion, your passive range of motion, and stability. We'll explain active and passive right now. We'll explain stability in a moment.
All right, the two concepts of passive range of motion and active range of motion are really easy to describe, showing by example. And we're going to have Jeremiah do a little bit of rotation through his thoracic spine to show you where his mobility is at passively and actively in this position. So I'm going to have Jeremiah rotate up as far as he can go under his own steam. Okay, come on back down and then do it one more time. So this is active range of motion. And you can see that Jeremiah can get to 80 degrees from the floor. Now, if I assist him and I pull him further, you can see he can get about another 20 degrees of motion. So from 80 to about 110. This difference between how far he can get himself actively, which is 80 degrees, and 110 degrees is called the motor control gap. And this is where you are most likely to get injured. Our job with becoming more mobile is to try to close that gap and get it as close as possible.
Next, I'm going to talk about two more thoughts, more specifically about stability. When we're talking about stability, we're talking about two main things. Number one is your ability to create and control the speed of the motion at any point in the movement. And number two is your ability to resist destabilizing forces at any point in the movement. It's also important for you to understand that muscles in a fully lengthened position are at their highest risk for injury. So it's important that you train in this zone with a safe weight so that you can reduce the risk of injury when you get to this point. Also, from a muscle building standpoint, having a full range of motion, a full stretch at the bottom of your movement is really beneficial. Here are 7 exercises that comprise a full body mobility routine. I'm going to list them in order of difficulty. Exercise number 1 is the mountain stretch. You're going to interlace your fingers together in front of you, flip your thumbs down, and raise your hands up over your head. The goal is to keep your ribs downward so there's no flare and your elbows straight. I'm going to have you draw 10 big circles in one direction and then 10 big circles in the other direction. Exercise number 2 is the mobility stick lunge twist. There's 2 ways to do this. Option 1 is a little bit harder. My legs are wide. I'm going to bring my left hand towards my right foot, starting with my knee bent, and then going to straighten the right leg and bend the left, shifting my weight towards my left leg. Option 2 is fairly similar. I'm going to take the bar and wear it a little bit lower. This takes my shoulders out of the equation. Similar idea, although all I'm going to try to do now is hinge twist and get the bar right in the center of my feet and look to the sky. Downward dog, and there's a few different things you can vary to emphasize what you're focusing on. First thing you're going to do is lay down, fingertips under shoulders, curl your toes, push your butt up and back with as straight of a spine as you're able. If you want to focus on singular leg ankle mobility, you might rock side to side, shifting your body weight in one leg and the other. Option number 2 is to shift forward, kind of into a plank like you're doing a calf raise, and then rock backward and increase that stretch. This is for posterior hip or glute mobility. I'm going to bring my leg forward and try to get my shin horizontal to my spine. From there, the goal is to try to get my hip towards the ground and my back leg hip as close to the ground as possible. You are able to hold this as a stretch, and or if you have the strength and stability, the mobility here, you can do raises from your pigeon fold. The next exercise is a seated deadlift. Your spinal position here really matters. You want to make sure that you're in spine neutral with a slight anterior pelvic tilt. The first thing that you want to do before you load this exercise is make sure that you have the large range of motion, meaning you can hinge almost to horizontal without losing position in your spine. From there, you might hold dumbbells just below you like you would for an RDL or a deadlift. And again, you want to make sure that you maintain that position in your spine while hinging forward and coming back up. Overhead carry, this is all about core and shoulder stability. You really want to make sure that you're maintaining shoulder blade neutral, which is a position of down and backward. And then from there, you need to be able to move and maintain that posture the entire time. The next exercise is a Cossack squat. This is a pretty advanced exercise. This is for hip and ankle mobility. The goal is to sit down as deep as you can with the leg you shift towards being entirely flat, knee matching the angle of your toe. This long leg can go heel down, toe up, and you're stretching the underside and inner side of that leg. Then you'll stand all the way up and shift the other way. If you're not able to yet control your body weight with this motion, you can always use TRX straps for assistance. Something I'd like to mention real quick is that there's a lot of differing philosophies on the best way to stretch. Whether it is static stretches where you hold a position or dynamic where there's some sort of action in the movement. I don't think it's fair to argue one is better than the other. In general, when you have two philosophies like this, the best case scenario and the most reasonable answer is a healthy combination of both.
If you're a person that sits a lot, dynamic stretching might be better for you, so get moving.
If you're someone who's very active, you might benefit from some stillness or static stretches. But again, at the end of the day, a healthy combination of both could be the best route. So just to summarize what we covered here today, I really want to stress to you that mobility is incredibly important. You may not see a whole lot of value in it because there's no immediate response to what you're doing, but long term, if you have immobility, that could lead to injury, and that could be the biggest factor in derailing your entire fitness career. If you want longevity in exercise and you want to get a lot of results from the exercise you do, mobility is the most important thing to prioritize.
I always think of exercise or being fit as having three components, like the three legs of a stool. You have leg number one, which is your strength. You have leg number two, which is your cardiorespiratory fitness. And then leg number three is mobility. And just like Jeremiah said, a lot of people kind of poo-poo that or they minimize it, and that's a big mistake. Because I will tell you one thing, as you get older, Father Time is going to steal your mobility if you're not working on it. So it's something that you got to keep in your routine so that you don't end up being 50, 60, 70 years old, looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I don't even recognize that hunched over person that can hardly move. When you're doing your mobility training, think about peppering it through your existing routine. You can add it as a warm-up at the beginning. You can add it as a cool-down at the end. There's really no wrong way to do it, or you can do it as a whole separate workout in your day for active recovery. Thank you guys for watching. It was something that we're both very passionate about. Do you have anything to add?
I don't. Thanks and have a good day.
Okay, bye guys.
Left foot green.
Does everyone have to do it or just me?
I think we all.
Oh, we have to do it? Oh, jeez.
Look at that.
Okay, that's awful.
I'm the only doing the splits right now.
All right.
Okay, guys, we've got a right hand yellow.
Oh, this is a dream.
Oh, no, it's not.
That's
Hey,
easy.
Rock.
That's not too hard.
All right, my turn. I'll spin.
God.
Yep. Yep.
What do we got?
Left hand green. Oh, I'm having a good day.
No, I'm going over.
Hey, Rock, you got to spin. Yep.
Oh, no.
Reach. Yes. That's good. That worked.
That counts.
Right foot red. I'm having a good day. All right, let's call it.